We are talking about fraudulent and questionable investments in Nigeria. Many of these fraudulent and questionable investment houses use a Ponzi scheme or an element of a Ponzi scheme in their operation. So let us lay the groundwork by explaining what a fraudulent investment scheme is. What is a Ponzi scheme? A Ponzi scheme is a type of fraudulent investment scam where returns are paid to earlier investors using the capital from newer investors rather than from profit earned by the operation of a legitimate business. One could simply put it this way: as someone is gaining, someone elsewhere in the scheme is losing. What are the key characteristics? 1. No real investment. There's often little or no actual business activity generating profits. 2. Illusion of returns. Investors may receive returns early, making the scheme appear legitimate and attracting more participants. 3. Unsustainable. Eventually, it collapses when it becomes impossible to recruit enough new investors to pay returns to earlier ones. Where did it come from? The term comes from Charles Ponzi, who became infamous in the 1920s for using this method with a postage stamp arbitrage scheme in the United States. In short, it's a con that relies on a constant flow of new money to survive, and when that dries up, it all falls apart. This scheme is a game, and the people playing have become so good at it. What so many don't know is that people who operate these fraudulent investment schemes constantly use data to monitor the rate at which money comes in and the rate at which money goes out. The rate at which money comes into the scheme must be greater than the rate at which money goes out by a significant margin. If the rate of withdrawal exceeds the rate at which deposits are made, most Ponzi operators would decide to crash the system at this stage. Here is one of the tools that the Ponzi scheme operators use to decide when to crash the system. They use a constant flow of data to monitor the fraudulent investment. If you look at the graph, you can see that the crashing point is when the rate at which withdrawals are made equals or gets close rate of deposit. At point A or point B or point C on the graph, the operators would crash the system so that they could trap and get away with reasonable cash. This is the financial yield point for the Ponzi scheme operators. There are two windows in the system, window A and window B. Most people in window A are the people who, in some cases, can cash out of the scheme. In window B, it becomes very difficult for people to cash out of the system, and their money gets trapped. In Nigeria, in the recently collapsed CBEX Ponzi scheme, so many were scrambling to cash out, thinking they were in window A, but alas, the operators upped their game. They made cashing out difficult and pushed most people to window B, and eventually crashing the system. We will see this in the example we will later present. So how did Africans copy this fraudulent Western scheme? We will soon look at this in detail. This scheme is very old. So why do people keep getting tricked into investing in these kinds of fraudulent schemes? That's the aim of this video. We will look at a recent notable Ponzi scheme in Nigeria and why people were tricked into investing in such schemes. Do you remember Bernie Madoff? And what about him? In history, he is one of the people who successfully ran a Ponzi scheme. CBEX operators copied from his playbook. CBEX, also known as Crypto Bridge Exchange Nigeria, presented itself as a next-generation blockchain investment platform, offering Nigerians the opportunity to earn steady returns through crypto trading, staking, and tokenized assets. CBEX was a fake cryptocurrency trading platform that operated under the company name ST Technologies International Limited. It presented itself as a legitimate crypto exchange, claiming to be registered with international financial authorities in the United States. CBEX quickly gained popularity by promising monthly returns of up to 100% with additional bonuses for referrals. The platform operated through a sleek mobile app, featured real-time dashboards, and used crypto jargon like decentralized finance mining and smart asset distribution to gain credibility. Influencers, students, and even professionals promoted CBEX, believing it was a legitimate investment hub. It claimed to be regulated and partnered with international exchanges, all of which were later found to be false or exaggerated. In April 2025, CBEX collapsed, leading to significant financial losses for its users and prompting investigations by Nigerian authorities. The platform vanished, taking millions of dollars in investor funds with it. Millions of Nigerians were reportedly affected nationwide, including students, market traders, small business owners, and civil servants who invested their life savings, pensions, or cooperative funds and school fees. This caused severe distress and mental breakdown for many. After the operators crashed CBEX, they fled Nigeria. Now, the question we should ask is, why did CBEX operators succeed in Nigeria? Here is why. 1. More than 70% of Nigerians who invested in CBEX were aware that there were questionable things about the scheme, but thought they could outsmart the system by cashing out fast. They were targeting to cash out fast in Window A without realizing the operators upped their game by making withdrawals difficult, thereby pushing most people to Window B. Trying to outsmart the Ponzi system failed. 2. Rising popularity of cryptocurrency in Nigeria. CBEX presented itself as a safe and smart entry point into crypto, using buzzwords like blockchain, staking, and decentralized finance, which made it sound credible and modern. They presented themselves as having a sophisticated AI-backed trading and crypto investment engine to the public, and many fell for it. 3. CBEX offered up to 100% monthly returns, far above what any legitimate investment could promise, and a referral bonus and rewards. 4. Sam Bankman-Fried used celebrities to endorse his failed crypto platform. Similarly, CBEX used content creators to endorse the fraudulent scheme. They also used social media and radio stations to spread their message. 5. They fooled investors and depositors by showing a fake screen balance of a growing balance. If someone invests $200, for example, the following week that individual gets shown $250, meaning that they used their AI-backed trading engine, used an autopilot trading system, and gained $50 in a week. Many Nigerians got fooled by this. This growing balance shown in the CBEX app is false and fake. 6. Ponzi scheme operators are always devising new strategies. CBEX's platform's crypto-based model made recovery and tracking difficult, as most funds were moved through decentralized wallets. Further, the fact that this Ponzi scheme on a turbo-nuclear scale happened in Nigeria raises huge concerns and questions regarding how Nigeria protects its citizens against financial fraud. Why did CBEX not operate in the UK, Germany, or France? Nigeria is a soft spot. Let us ask these questions. 1. Nigeria's Economic and Financial Crimes Commission launched an investigation into the founders who are believed to have fled. The question is, why didn't the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, act fast? They waited until the damage was done. Many Nigerians see the EFCC, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, as useless, a tool the politicians use to fight political opponents instead of protecting the Nigerian people. 2. The Securities and Exchange Commission issued urgent warnings about unregistered digital investment schemes and tightened guidelines on crypto-related offerings. Again, the question is, why didn't they issue a warning quicker than this? If warnings are not working, they should tackle the problem differently. These organizations appear to be doing something, but are they? 3. What about the Nigerian Senate? There have been several fraudulent investment schemes in Nigeria where people have lost millions of dollars. Why didn't they enact strong regulations governing crypto and other investments? The Nigerian senators are some of the highest paid in the world, but their work does not match the salary and allowances they are getting. The weak or lack of crypto regulations in Nigeria, the Ponzi scheme operators exploited it, operating without a license for years undetected. It does not take long to detect a Ponzi scheme. The central bank and the Nigerian Communications Commission should be empowered by legislation authorizing them to block such websites or companies in Nigeria and direct all small banks to stop transactions with such firms. Sadly, the Nigerian Senate, CBN, and the Nigerian Communications Commission were nowhere to be found in the time of crisis. Recently, the EFCC has declared some persons wanted in connection with the CBEX crypto scam, but can we trust them to catch and recover the stolen funds? We will take them with a grain of salt. There have been several investment scams in Nigeria in the past years, and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has not satisfactorily handled those cases. Most Nigerians wouldn't trust them to do a good job here. They appear like they are doing something, but in most cases, nothing. Now, there are lots of these Ponzi schemes or questionable investment and trading platforms across Nigeria, and we have only presented one of them. There is one key thing about these scams. They appear as something good, but in reality, they are a poison in a cup of gold. They are a fraud packaged in vessels of gold. They appear to be legit, but they are not. If questionable investment opportunities are presented to you as something good, don't take them. It's a poison in a cup of gold. They are becoming increasingly clever and using elements of crypto in their platforms, which makes it hard for governments to track and catch them. Even most crypto platforms with a high degree of legitimacy have their headquarters in places like the Bahamas, where crypto regulations are very loose. This raises huge questions about the hype of crypto trading. Here are things the Nigerian government should do. 1. Relying on awareness alone is not sufficient. Despite several awareness campaigns and numerous information out there, people are still failing to understand that almost everything that appears too good to be true, it probably is. Forceful closure of these Ponzi houses is required. They will always find people to deceive, and the Nigerian government need to forcefully shut them down. 2. There needs to be a strong regulatory framework for cryptocurrency and general financial matters. The Central Bank of Nigeria and other regulatory bodies should be empowered by legislation to identify and shut down such firms very quickly. Awareness campaigns are not enough, and the government should have strong monitoring in place to be able to detect and shut down such operations in little or no time.